Hello, America, and curling fans from Canada and Newfoundland. This is your host, Ryan Olson, bringing you the latest from the 2024 MoPac Mixed Team Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. Our feature sheet for this draw number 2 is Team Siggins from Coyotes, uh, Denver, and San Francisco Bay Area, taking on Team Mewers from Orange County Curling Club, or OC Curling Club. First rocks away. We are underway. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys have questions or comments, please let me know in the chat on YouTube, and I will definitely do my best to let you guys know what I know, which may not be much. That was a draw to the guard zone. It's not touching the center line, so the new no-tick rule does not apply. As we see the lead stones coming for Team Siggins. This is Brianna. And this looks to be, I think, an attempt to draw around. And looks pretty successful as we look at the overhead button cam presented by Levi's Buttons, not the Jean Company, the Button Company. As we see the next shot about to come from uh, Kira Minayan. A little up weight, I think, looking to hit and roll, trying to push it over, see if it gets there. It's going to make contact. And the shooter's going to roll to the wing on the right as the shot stone goes out of the house. It is now Mewers sitting the single stone. Brianna Weldon delivers her second shot. It looks to be a draw. Try to draw around their guard, and as you might see by the scoreboard, either in the club or on screen, Team Siggins has the hammer by them drawing closer to the center of the house in the draw shot challenge. Brianna's shot crashes on the guard and rolls wide. So Queen of Mewers is holding the broom as the second heads down the ice. And that would be David Hernandez, I believe. Yes, as he's pushing out a hack. So when we have time in the action, I will definitely let you guys know what's going on in the other games. And also impart fun facts that the teams have shared with me as that shot goes deep through the house out of play. So this is the this is the mixed fours format. That means that they are four-person teams. It's different from the mixed doubles format that you might have seen on TV during the Olympics or on TV at some other time. Curling's going to be back on TV someday soon, I believe it. So this is the net shot coming from Sean Franey. And it's going to be a hit. So now there's two reds out front, but only one yellow in the house. As we see David get set for his next. They tried to convince me that his name was Davida, which is fair. Looking to draw around, but this looks to be on the guard, all over the guard. Ooh, I say that, but it's actually past it. It was a little heavier than I thought. and just a little too heavy as it's going to go. Oh, it parks right in the back 12. I said in the first game that one of the teams was living on the edge, that they liked living on the edge, and it looks like Team Mewers is about the same as Siggins looks to see what to do here with Sean's next and looks to be clearing the guards. Looks like some up weights. Oh, they clear their own guard. That's an interesting move, but sometimes if the guard's not doing you any favors, it's time to get rid of it. So now I think Mewers is going to draw to the top 12 as Queena gets set in the hatch. She's skipping the team, but she's also throwing third. That also kind of highlights some of the unique aspects of the mixed fours, where you have two players from each of the genders as they choose to identify themselves, and then you have to alternate between genders. So you have a man, woman, or woman, man. And in this case, Mewers is playing the more common woman, man format, where the women throw the first and third rocks, and the men throw the second and fourth rocks. And that goes to the top 8 foot, maybe a little deeper than they would have liked, but it does draw play towards the center of the house as Claire Blasky gets set out of the hatch. Hoping for a little bit more curl. Ooh, it just kisses that yellow and pushes it to the wing. So Siggins is, I think, in a little bit of trouble here in this first end. The front is pretty open, so that is a saving grace for Team Siggins. And then Team Siggins is the defending champion from this event. And so it's definitely fun to see how they do this time out. It looks like the level of competition is high once again as Siggins fought against a new team out of Utah and Texas, and the other team prevailed. So this is going to be another draw, hoping for the top. I think the top 8 at this point, because the shot stone is now on the 8 foot. This is going to go a little deep. It settles in on the edge of the button. And it looks like Siggins is going to just hit and maybe roll a little bit towards the wing. Looking to make some contact, but not too much contact. So they're sweeping to hold the line. It's going to hit it pretty close to nose and roll towards the center, a little past the center. And so there is some backing with the yellow in the back 12, but there's a lot of angles that Mewers could take on. It definitely does draw play towards the center. So uh, I think Siggins is looking to get out of here with just a single, unless something breaks their way. As the fourth for Mewers gets set, and that would be Alex Eaton Salners. Again, he's throwing fourth, but is the vice of the team. And I think they're just looking to hit the reds out of the way and maybe have the yellow roll under cover if they can. Definitely gonna make contact. And it just squirts past that yellow in the back 12. So again, barring any sort of mistake or miss, it appears that Siggins is likely to get forced to a single point with the hammer here in this first end as he makes his way down the hack. And this is the skip of Team Siggins. That's Mike Siggins, curling out of the Coyotes Curling Club of Coyotes, Arizona, Tempe, Arizona. Calling for some curl. He needs to curl up a bunch. It's going to, I think, just kiss the yellow, pushes the yellow back to the back 12 foot. So, man, this is not, I think, the way that Siggins had hoped this end would start, as Siggins is now facing four Mewers rocks, and Alex has a chance to put a fifth in, kind of, I imagine, to the top 12 foot. You don't want to go further than the yellow that's on the top there, because that might make it easier for Siggins to score a single point. The goal is to make it as hard as possible for Siggins to store that single point. So we see the stone come in. Now Quina runs out to help. It's going to be a guard. So a bit of an out for Mike Siggins, because if he just makes contact with the yellow and sticks around, he'll get his single point. So this is Mike Siggins facing four yellows in the house, opting to draw for the single point with the last rock here in the first end. Needs to be full 8 foot for that single point. Sweepers are not laying a broom on it. Now Franny digs in a little bit, but it looks to be there. Oh, it needs to sit down. Is it going to sit down? Oh my goodness. So it does cut Mewers down to a single point, but it's going to end up being a steal of one by Team Mewers. As Siggins will carry the hammer to the second end. We'll have more coverage when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns, coming to you live from Sacramento Bay Area Curling Club. And our coverage of this event is brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Still working on the transitions. Doubletakeout.com is a dream site if you're a fan of curling statistics. Throughout the curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy crunches the numbers and comes up with what he calls the world's best curling ranking system. Check it out today at doubletakeout.com. So we'll be back in just a moment with our continuing coverage of the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns. rocks in play as we see Sean Franey deliver his first shot. Apparently, he eats 1 to 2 Subway Club footlongs per visit, which sounds like a lot, especially the second footlong sandwich. Have a lot of rocks in play as we check out the action. And we'll also let you guys know about what's happening on the other sheets of play. But if you guys can't wait, you can go to you can go to bondspieler.com. Bondspieler.com is our host of live scores. We update them as soon as we know, and you can check it out yourself at bondspieler.com. As we have the next stone coming from David Hernandez, his second, throwing some weight, looking for a takeout. And mission accomplished. Got rid of the shot stone. But right now, looking at the overhead, it does appear to be that Siggins sitting 1 in the top 12 foot. I think they were hoping to roll back towards the middle in terms of Team Mewers. As Franny gets set for his next shots. You can see the clocks in the background. These games are being timed. Each team has 30 minutes of what they call thinking time, which is the amount of time between when their turn starts and when they start delivering the stone. So this shot looks to be pretty solid as it's going to settle in the back 12 foot. So I said a lot during the first game that I think the double is there. I don't think the double is there in this case. And it looks like Mewers is looking to maybe put up a draw around. I think maybe go to the 8 foot on that top side as she has the broom down as Alice takes over to hold the broom as his skip makes her way down the ice. Gracefully sliding. So again, I think looking for a draw. Let's time this because timing is super important in the sport. So looking for the time between the two blue lines. For the first game, T-weight was about 13.5, I would say. And let's see where we're at right now in this game. Looking for a draw. This is curling up a bit. I just got around 14 seconds. And it does turn out to be a little light as it ends up in the top 12 foot for second shots. And so it looks like Siggins wants to make a play on it. So I think looking for a hit and a roll under as Claire Vlasky makes her way out of the hack. And apparently her note on Subway is that she likes Subway. Looking for a hit and a little bit of roll. And hit and a little bit of roll. Pretty good setup that Siggins has developing in this second end. As we look to the overhead now, it appears that Siggins is definitely sitting 2, looks like 3. And then Mewers has that lone yellow in the top 12, just hanging on by the chin of its chinny chin. So I think they might try that draw again. Actually, if they draw to the back, that wouldn't be too bad. Because it'd be a similar line to what they threw, perhaps. It might be too tight. But I think they're looking to hit it, which also isn't too bad. So Tweena Mewers began curling in June 2019. The pandemic forced her to stop for about 15 months, and then she luckily unlearned some bad curling habits, which is a good thing. Then in 2022, she broke her leg skiing after curling in the Sawtooth Outdoor Bonspiel that's up in Idaho near Sun Valley. So the hits got rid of a couple stones, but also got rid of that yellow that was in the top 12. So let's see what they have on tap here as the shot's underway. So I think just looking to put another win in as Siggins is now definitely sitting 3. Looking to, I think, tap their red back towards the center. It's going to end up in the back 12. So now I think drawing to the back would be probably the best option at this point because they're facing 4. If they draw to the back 12 foot, they're going to outcount all the stones. And it's going to be really hard for Siggins to pluck out any of the yellow stones that come to rest in the back. As we see now, Alex Eaton Selners get sets. He also started curling in 2019. Some of his events include the 2023 Superheroes Bonspiel at Coyotes. It's a 5 and under event. And he was seeded 5th among 24 teams after pool play. So sounded like he made the playoffs. And this is going to be a little light. That's not great, unfortunately. It actually tapped the red back. So now Siggins is still sitting 4, and there's a lot of cover for Siggins as he makes his way down the ice. I think they're just looking to draw to the top 12 just to bite the edge to count, but also not to be too deep that Mewers can make a play on it. And this is Mike Siggins. He's so old, he lived off of the 3 footlongs for $9.99 in college, and he hasn't tried it since, which that sounds fair. Also sounds fair. So, oh, it looks like he's going to hit and roll a little towards the center. I think they wanted to curl a bit more, but that's not a bad outcome. That red that was just delivered did not go in the house, so it is still sitting 4, and Mewers is facing a bundle. It's a tricky situation for Alex as he gets set to deliver his last. I think looking to draw around the cover, there's space, there's backing towards the back of the house. So it can be a little heavy, but needs to make sure it curls. Push it, really calling for curl. Looks pretty good. Still needs a little bit more curl. Oh, did it hit something? Wow. That ended up in a really great place, though. That rock looked like it just went sideways at the very end. Not quite sure what happened there. So now Siggins is down to 1, although there is a very lonely Mewers stone in the house. If they were ever to get rid of that Mewers yellow stone, Siggins would score a bundle. However, it's early in the game. And I think discretion is the better part of valor in this situation. So I think they're just going to draw for a second point, which seems like a pretty solid call. So Mike Siggins looking to draw for a second point. Maybe. Looks like Vice, Skip, Brianna gave Mike just a little bit more ice. Just need to draw through the ports. Draw through the port for a second point. Just basically full 8 foot, I think will get them that second point. This is it. Last rock, second end. Mike Siggins going for two. Looks pretty good in terms of the line and the weight. Weight's there, line's there. Going to settle in on the edge of the button. Actually, back 4 foot, but still good enough for two, I believe. I'll wait for them to post the score before I say it definitively on the scoreboard. But Mewers will have the hammer when we return for the third end at the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns, and it is a score of two. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns from Oakland, California. Taking a quick trip around the rings, which is our trademarked exclusive feature. I'm joking, of course. We'll go around the rings. You can also check out the scores at bondspieler.com. Going from right to left, starting at sheet 1 or A, we have a contest between Team Endicott's with the Red Rocks taking on Team Pomeroy of the Oval and Dallas-Fort Worth curling clubs. Looks like Endicott's scored a 3 to open up scoring with a hammer in the first, and they're starting their third end. We have our feature sheet on sheet 2, where Siggins scored 2 with a hammer to take a 2-1 lead over Team Mewers. On sheet C, the contest between Team Maxi with the Red Rocks and Team Norris with the Yellows. It looks like it's been all Maxi so far, jumping up to a 7-0 lead after 3 ends. On sheet D, it's a very close contest as I think they're about to post the score. You see it as it happens. That was a single by Team Murray in the second end. So both Team Murray and Grow traded singles back and forth. They're tied after two. And then on sheet 5 or E, the contest between Team Leclerc with the blue rocks and Team Altus with the yellow rocks. Looks like Leclerc jumped to a 5-0 lead after one, and Altus got a single back in the second. And that brings you up to date on the scoring. Again, all the scores are at your favorite sites, vonspieler.com. Turning to our feature sheets, rocks are in play. As we see Sean Franey's first stone curl around the corner guard to have Cygnus sit two there. And I will update the score in just a moment. As Mewers is getting the broom set, I think looking to run the yellows back into the reds. As David Hernandez gets set. He's a longtime fan of curling. He jumped at the chance to give it a try when Southern California got a taste of dedicated ice in the early 2020s. A very short time for dedicated ice in California. It didn't curl up enough and just kind of hits the guard out of the way. And the shooter sits around, still guarding the shot stones in the house. So now they're looking to draw around the yellow guard and make it a lot harder for David to try that takeout again, that raised takeout. As Sean gets set. Saw a little bit of a positive release there. Positive release is when you kind of extend your arm or a little bit just to give it a little bit more push when you deliver the stone. If you do it right, it works really well. This is going to go just a smidge deep. It looks like the line was pretty good. Just uh, the additional, maybe the additional little add gave it that extra 6 feet of distance. So now it looks like Quino wants to take on the yellows from the opposite side as David gets set. So just one. It was exciting though. It ran the outside red to the red in the back, but it jammed, and so only one of the reds went out of play. It does change things around a bit. I don't know if it helps Mewers all that much. Just again, the score for this contest is Team Siggins 2, Mewers 1. Last few stones coming down the ice. I think looking to, kind of split the rings a little bit. That doesn't help. I finished it real nicely. So not splitting the rings. It does put that rock in the draw path on the left or bottom side from this view. So now Mewers is facing 3 Siggins red rocks in the house. And I think they're looking to run the yellow back onto the reds. It looks like it's about a 6-foot raise, which is not incredibly long for curlers of this caliber. So after Queena broke her leg, she was able to recover. While recovering, she started skipping, which significantly increased her understanding and appreciation of the game. This is going to hit the yellow out of the way. I think not a bad outcome. May not be entirely what they were looking for, but it's still sitting 3. I think they're looking to draw the other turn. This is the counterclockwise or out turn if you are a right-handed curler. This looks like it's curling up a little tight. Does look like it ended up in a good place because the Mewers could probably get rid of those 2 yellows that are bunched together, but there's not an easy way to get to the shot red in the back 4. So I think they're going to try and take it on. The double. The ice, I think, based on speed, is really good speed for curling ice. In terms of how much it's curling, I think some of the players after the first game said it was kind of curling in a way that is unpredictable at times. Trying to find the right words. Uh, so sometimes it hangs out, or sometimes it breaks late, or sometimes it breaks hard. Let's see what Queena has here with her last. This is over curling, so now they want to try and push it to the red in the back, or the other on the outside. So it does get rid of one of the Siggins stones, just not the one they were looking for. So that one over curled. So now we're to skip stones as Mike Siggins makes his way down the ice. I think looking to just draw on. I think they're looking to draw to the top 8 foot, almost parallel to where their other stone is, with about 2 feet of separation. I would say 2 feet. So they say it's running, which means that it's not slowing down at the right rate that they think it needs to be. So this looks to be going a little deep. Not too bad though. It settles into the back button there, and so it also showed Queen of the path to take to reach the button. And there's a little bit of backing, so uh, I would say ideally, if you have the hammer, you try to score more than 1 point. But in this case, you sometimes just want to get out of an end without giving up multiple points to the other team. And so as Alex gets set in the hack, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to try and draw down to the top of the button. The weight is going to be crucial for this shot. So the release looked really good. Let's see where it ends up. Yelling for line, that means it's over curling. I got 14.9, so it's a little on the light side, and this is going to end up in the top of the house. So it was a little tight to the line and a little light. And now it gives Siggins a chance to close the door. So I think Siggins is going to do a shot maybe closer to what I thought he was going to do the first time, which was to draw to the top 8 foot and be sitting 4 or 5. So as Siggins cleans his stone and the area in front of the hack, which is very important for this game. You want to have a very clean playing surface. Looking to draw. Again, I think the top 8 foot would be muy bien. I think they said it was running again. This one looks like it's going to sit down okay. The other thing is that I think in this case being light is good. And so it is. It's a pretty good guard there. There's not much of a port for Alex to take on. Looks like they're going to try and draw wide. I think maybe just to avoid giving up a huge score, as there are 4 red Siggins stones in the house. This is a you don't want to face this situation with your last rock. As Alex Eaton Salners pushes out from the hack, looking to, I think, try to get to the side of the button. Needs to be full 4 foot to cut Siggins down to 2. Oh, it chipped off of this the guard that Siggins just put up, and it will be a steal of 4 by Team Siggins. So just a really well executed end by the team from Coyotes, Denver, and San Francisco. I tried to put that on my information card with this YouTube video, and it's a lot of information. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. Looking around the rings, the scores haven't changed. Although it does look that on sheet C, the contest between Team Maxi with the Blue Rocks and Team Norris, the Yellowstones, Norris was able to get on the board with a single in the third, and is now 7-1 Maxi over Morris. And again, you can check out all the scores on Double Takeout, not DoubleTakeout.com. You can check out all the scores on Bondspieler.com. That's the name you can't forget, Bondspieler.com. So rocks in play on our feature sheets. We are underway here in the 4th end. After this end, we will take a 5-minute break and check out. I don't know what I'm saying. We'll take a 5-minute break after 4th end. So it looks like some up weights from Kira. Actually, I say up weight. It doesn't look to be that up weight. But Kira was inspired by the 2022 Olympic Winter Games. She began curling that spring of 2022. Some of her events included finishing third place as a lead at the 2022 Reindeer Games mini spiel at Orange County Curling, and tournament champion at the 2023 Derby mini spiel at OCCC as second. So this is Brianna's second stone. She doesn't like sandwiches. She will only eat at Subway in Wall, South Dakota out of desperation. So, by the way, the themes for the Siggins survey were Subway sandwiches and favorite Oakland zoo animal, which we will get to as the game progresses. Uh, Satira is a CPA who loves crunching numbers with complex Excel formulas. She also enjoys inspiring people to reach their fitness goals. So she teaches cycling at Equinox in her spare time, and also gives her an opportunity in practice yelling hard. So I would normally yell hard, but internet video might not be the best place for it. Here's Sean's first stone. And so his favorite Oakland zoo animal is the Asian forest scorpion. I'm not fond of scorpions in the first place. So thinking about a forest scorpion doesn't sound very fun to me, but your mileage might vary. And that was a draw, ended up in the back 12. So again, Siggins, the team is just piling those reds into the house and forcing Mewers to respond. As David gets set to push out of the hack. Some of his accomplishments include the event runner-up at the 2022 Coyotes Curling Desert Ice Bonspiel, and also an event runner-up at the 2022 Hollywood Curling Blockbuster Bonspiel. So he made it a blockbuster night. I think he wanted to draw around, and it ended up just kind of being another corner guard. And now with the 5 rock rule over in terms of the guard zone, Siggins is going to go to work clearing these guards. That's some up weight there. It peels the guard, and the shooter rolls through the house out of play. He definitely threw that with some conviction, some pepper, but not George Peppard, who is an actor from many, many moons ago. So David has won some events, including the Coyotes 500 National Qualifier in 2020, the 2023 Desert Ice Bonspiel, the 2023 Hotter Than Hell Bonspiel at Coyotes. So he's found a lot of success at Coyotes. Does clear the shot Siggins stone, and the shooter is going to roll to the top 12 foot, or the above 12 foot to the wings. So I would say like he seems very much at home at Coyotes. But I think a lot of the curling was during the time when Hollywood was looking for curling ice after the closure of the Southern California Curling Center. But it definitely seems good that David was able to find a curling facility and found some success as Claire throws her first stone. Again, some pepper on that one. Her favorite zoo animal is the gray wolf. And that is a shot to howl about. That was a nice hit and roll there by Lasky. So now the situation in the house is a bit tricky for Mewers. I say that because there is a very thin double there, but the double might not do them too much because they are behind a handful and looking for a ways to get back into this game with. Um, this is the fourth end with 4 ends to go after this end. So ideally, if you're behind by a decent number, you try to just kind of claw your way back into the game by scoring multiple points with the hammer and then forcing the other team to just 1 point or forcing them to give up points. So it looks like they're going to draw to on top of the yellow on the wing. This is looking pretty good. I said light, but it looks really good. Just, they want to corner freeze it, and it's going to sit right on the corner of that yellow in the back 12. So that was a very good shot there by Queen of Mewers. So it looks like Siggins is playing the scoreboard and just going to blast those stones out with a Lasky's last. Ooh, it jams. So this could be an opportunity for Mewers. It's tricky though. Um, if they hit the red out, there's a chance that it could jam, or it could just the yellow that remains behind could be in a position where Siggins can hit it out pretty easily or hit both out fairly easily, which might not be bad if it could set up a possible blank for Mewers as Quina makes her way down the ice. Some of her highlights include curling at the Women's Arena Club National Championships at Masabi as a vice. That was this year. Also was seated in fifth place among 24 teams at the 23 Superheroes Bonspiel, the 5 and under qualifier, as her shots away. So looking to hit just inside a nose. To call him off. This is over curling, and this actually could be a bit of a disaster for Mewers. And it did turn out to be a bit of a bad luck shot there, as Siggins lost the cap on the top of his broom. But not a good outcome, unfortunately, for Mewers, as it did hit their second stone out, those counting for second. And the red is now sitting 2, and Mewers is sitting third shots on the edge of the 12-foot. So Mike Siggins makes his way down the ice. His favorite Oakland zoo animal is the jaguar, 100% beauty and power. Should be a car somewhere. So this is Mike Siggins' first without the hammer here in the fourth end. I think just looking to guard up or block the path to the button. Also just kind of based on where the rock is going. Looks like it's going to settle in a little deep. So I think it may have gone a little deeper than they would have liked, but it's still a pretty good situation for Siggins. Um, for Mewers, I think they're looking at maybe a double. I wonder if it would help them if they just tapped that red back to the back four and then just sit on top of it. Uh, kind of open up the scoring a little bit, make it hard for Siggins to get that Muir stone out, and then maybe hope for maybe a whoopsie to get that a second point as Alex gets set in the hack. So Alex was also a tournament champion at the 2023 Derby Mini Spiel at Orange County. Also the D event winner at the 23 Ball Bonspiel at San Francisco playing Vice. This is to be upweight. I think they were looking to maybe try to do the double. It's one. Oh, just the one in the back. All right. Not a bad outcome. That was a good shot there from Eaton Salners. So it looks like, again, Siggins is playing the scoreboard and is just going to hit out that yellow Mewers stone and be sitting two, and then really force Mewers to settle for one. Or if they do a pretty solid shot, there could be a chance for two. This one's curling, and it does chip out the yellow and rolls towards the wing of the outer forefoots on the right side from this view. So I was saying there could be a shot for two. It's going to be a tricky one. If you look at this overhead view, it's a very thin double. It's not quite a cross house double, but you need to hit the inside of the stone that they have the broom next to, and then have enough energy to roll over to the other red and punch that red out, and then you would score your two. I think they're going. I think they're going to try and take it on. This is a tricky shot. I don't think they're drawing because I would probably give a little more ice for a draw. This is the last shot here with a hammer. Fourth end, Team Mewers, Alex Eaton Salners. Looking to push it over, looking to have enough energy to cross over. Hits on the outside and rolls wide. And so that's going to be a steal of one by Siggins. And so they will take a 7-1 lead into the break. And so as they take a break, we will take a break too. When we return to the 2023 MoPac Mixed Playdowns live from San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. And once again, this event is brought to you by doubletakeout.com. It is the site for the world's best curling ranking system. Each week or throughout the curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy crunches the numbers and comes up with a comprehensive ranking. You can see it at doubletakeout.com. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. This is your host Ryan with you, bringing you all the action throughout the weekend. We have a nightcap tonight at about 8:30, and then we also have a quadruple header of games starting at 9:30 tomorrow, running through the late game that starts at 8:30 Saturday night. Then we have two playoff games on Sunday, including the final at noon. So that is a lot of action, including the action that you see here on the Around the Rings coverage. Just recapping the teams again real quick, and we'll return to our feature game. On sheet A, we have the contest between Team Endicott with the Red Rocks taking on Team Pomeroy with the Yellowstones. Uh, it's been a lot of Endicott so far as he's up 6-2 after 4. Our feature sheet game is between Team Siggins with the Redstones taking on Team Mewers with the Yellowstones, 7-1 Siggins. The situation is similar on sheet C, as we have Team Maxi playing with the Blue Rocks, holding a 7-1 lead over Team Norris of San Diego with a single point. And then on sheet 4, the contest between Team Murray with the Redstones and Team Bro of Wine Country and Coyotes with the Yellowstones. Looks like Grow blanked the third end. They did not score 15 points. They blanked the third end and converted the hammer with they were forced to 1 in the fourth. They're up 2-1. And then finally on sheet 5, the contest between Team Leclerc with the Bluestones and Team Altus with the Yellowstone. It is Leclerc 6 to Altus 3 after 4 ends. And again, all these scores are at bonspieler.com. So returning to our feature sheets where rocks are, of course, in play. Looks like a pretty open house so far. There's some newer rocks in play. Let's see if they're going to be able to convert the hammer with his ends here, as they are down 7-1. So Sean's stone for Siggins does clear the yellow that was in the house. And so looking at the overhead, there's no rocks in play right now. And so Mewers is looking to generate some offense. We are in the fifth end of up to 8 ends. Teams can choose to resign early if they feel the game is out of hand or they feel ready to concede. It's kind of one of the notable differences between this game of curling and some of the other more popular sports that you might see. It'd be kind of fun to watch a baseball game end early, just because if they're getting blown out like 20-2, it's like, why do we need to play 9 innings? We kind of know the outcome of the game. So this any game could end early. As Siggins gets set to peel the guard, as Sean delivers another upweight stone. Definitely going to get something moving. The guard is peeled and the shooter is going to roll to the wing. Is it going to stay in play? Looks like it will park above the house on the side on the wings there. Not out of play, but not in a potentially useful spot. Although this could give Team Mewers an opportunity to draw around that to start generating some offense. As David Hernandez gets set. It looks like it just broke just past the hog line in terms of the curl, just like took off. So now they're going to try and hold on. I think it could be around that guard. It does glance off the guard and roll into the house in the top 12 foot. And so it looks like Siggins is going to make a hit, pretty much just a nose hit, it appears. So the opportunity for Mewers seems to have vanished with that last shot, as we will watch the stone make its way down the ice. This is video equipment from San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. It's a great setup. I'm definitely am thankful for them for having these cameras that we can use for our regional broadcasts. And San Francisco does have their own YouTube channel if you want to watch their league play or some of their own tournaments. As Siggins and Third Blasty were able to punch out that Mewers stone that was just delivered. So this is Queena's first here in the fifth with the hammer. I think they're going to try to draw to the wings again, although there's very much a sliver of protection. There's not much protection at all by that Siggins red rock on the wing there. And it's not going to get to the wing, it's going to be to the top. I would say that was a setup shot, but I'm not quite sure if they wanted it there or in the house. This is Blasty's last here in the fifth. Lots of weight. Does peel out that yellow guard. And it does spin back around to sit for shot there on the wing. So I think Mewers is going to try that shot again. I think they want it to be a little deeper. Just watching to see where it breaks in the ice. As you learn the game and start watching it, you start to try and read the ice more carefully. And I admit I can do a better job of that from time to time. This is going to go deep this time. Going to settle in the back 12. It doesn't hang around. Actually goes to the back line, and it's just hanging on the back line. Not much of a factor in this game or in this end. Although that reminds me, I taught a learn to curl recently, where someone was asking about what happens to the rocks when they're taken out of play. Like, are they gone for the rest of the game? And I thought that was silly because each team has 8 stones, and it'd be very difficult to play the game with less than 8 stones. So I had to explain that once the rock goes out of place, just for the end or for the round, and then they have that rock again when they start the next end. So this is Mike Siggins' first. I think just looking to draw. I think top 8 foot, top 12 foot. Just start cutting down the draw paths to the button. And Mewers is looking uh, maybe at a force here in this fifth end, which is not what they need to prevail in this contest. And so that does settle in the top 12. I said top 8, but top 12. And handshakes or hand claps, hand slaps, hand slaps. And here is Alex Eaton Salner's first of the end. I think they were looking to draw around, and this is going to turn up lights. I think this is not uh, a good outcome. So it was light and over curled. Although it does help set up their final shot. But at this point, barring An error by Team Siggins. It appears Mewers is going to be forced to try to score a single point here in the fifth end. And as I indicated, they needed to try to get two or more points to really start trying to get back into this contest. This is Mike Siggins' last here in the fifth without the hammer. There's so much strategy that's involved in these games. I've only just barely scratched the surface, and I've made some boneheaded mistakes, but that's why you play the game. You make the goofs and you learn from them, hopefully, and hopefully get better. This is going to be a draw around. I think Siggins is just trying to get there first, although also does give some backing for Alex to score that single point. There's not really a double to score 2 points here. You could argue that there might be a double, but it doesn't help Team Mewers to score more than 1 point. So I think just a heavy draw, hoping to draw down on top of that red that's right in front of where Queen is. And so David needs to push it over a bit. Needs to come over a lot, like another foot and a half. It looks like it's going to, I said it looks like it's going to get there. It does, but then it rolls too far wide. And so that looks to be another steal of one, maybe two. So I think they indicated two. We haven't seen them measured yet. It's very early in this tournament, but we've already seen an extra end. And when we broadcast the men's and women's playdowns, there we go. That is going to be handshakes by Team Mewers. A very solid game from Team Siggins. They definitely faced a stiff game in draw one where they lost a very close one to Team Pomeroy from Oval and Dallas Fort Worth. But they were able to bounce back against Team Mewers, which is not a slouch either. So that's going to be the end of this contest. It's going to be Team Siggins 9, I believe, versus Team Mewers 1. So as we switch back to the Around the Rings coverage, we'll check out how the other games are going. And we can also join maybe one of these other games in progress, perhaps on sheet 4. But let's really quickly recap where these teams are going to go next. We are playing pool play. We have 2 pools, or we have 3 pools. Let me get the competitive document up. We have 3 pools, and the top 2 teams of each pool advances to the quarterfinals set for tomorrow night at the club. So we have 2 groups of 5 and 1 group of 4. So we have one group that's going to play, each team plays 3 games, and we have 2 groups where each team plays 4 games. And so already we're almost halfway through the tournament for some of these teams, as some of these teams have already played their second game. We'll definitely keep an eye on the playoff situation, but you can also check out the standings at bondspieler.com, which is where you can also check out the scores for this game or all the other games on the ice. You can also check the other games, the other draws throughout the weekend. That's at bondspieler.com. So looking at sheet A, sheet 1, looks like Pomeroy is really pushing here in this end. They are sitting 3 now without the hammer. But right now it's been mostly Team Endicott with the Redstones holding control of the game. It looks like Pomeroy is pushing here in the 5th to try and really, it's the 6th end, pardon me. I wonder if they blanked an end. So, the Bondspieler, we try to get the scores up to date, but sometimes they don't update the scoreboard, and we have to figure out what the score is. So, okay, this is the 5th end. because I can tell because I can see the windows on the left side, which matches the direction. I can figure out the orientation of the sheet based on that. So the fifth end, Pomeroy is pushing. I see now that there is a red Endicott rock there. Let's peek in on that game just because we have some time. One second. Okay. Talking to myself. So we are in Skip Stones. It is the fifth end on sheet one. Team Endicott from Coyotes taking on Team Pomeroy from Oval Curling of Utah and Dallas Fort Worth. Endicott dropped a close game in an extra end to open things up against Team Barajas of San Francisco. And so now we have Endicott with the first of two Skip Stones facing three Pomeroy Rocks. And it looks like they took their time out during that end, which would be a good call. This is Adam, his first. I think looking to just hit one of the yellows out of the way and stick around. It does. Ooh, it does roll. That's a good shot there. So Pomeroy is cut down to one, and that Endicott Red is in a very dangerous situation for Team Pomeroy. They need to get rid of it. I think they're looking to do a heavy draw, like hack to board weights to get around that center guard, make sure it's around the center guard, and with enough energy to kick that red to the back and hopefully have the yellow stick around as it rolls left from this view, the overhead view. One of the upgrades that the San Francisco club made to its video streaming setup was improved microphones. The microphones are on sheets 2 and 4. So we could turn up the sound and maybe hear a little bit more about what they might be discussing. Again, I think looking for just a heavy draw to push that red out of the way. This is Ken Pomeroy, his last without the hammer here in the fifth. So it's going to be around the guard. It looks like it's a little on the light side. It kisses off of it. Oh, it's still going. It settles in the top 8. A pretty good outcome, although now if Endicott's able to get rid of that shot yellow, then I do believe there's a possibility for Endicott to get 2 here. So they're looking at the angles. I think if they throw about the same weight that Pomeroy just threw, I think they can get 2. I mean, playing the scoreboard a little bit, they could just like chip out the yellow and score just 1 and be okay. But I think there's a chance for 2. I think they do too. I think they do as well. This is Adam Encott's last shot rock, or last rock, facing one Pomeroy yellow. Here we go. Sean Aronson's trying to push it over. I don't think it's going to come back, and it doesn't come back enough. And so it's going to be a steal of one by Team Pomeroy. So they are down 4, and now they're down 3 with 3 ends to go. So Pomeroy either needs to keep stealing or try to force Endicott to a single to kind of claw their way back into this game. Interesting situation. We'll keep an eye on it as we shift back to our Around the Rings coverage. Again, all these scores are on bonspieler.com. So we've checked in on sheets 1 and 2. Sheet 3, the contest between Team Maxey with the Red Rocks and Team Norris is leaning towards Maxey. Looks like Norris is trying to set up a multiple point opportunity here. Looks like they're near the end of their end, so we can maybe poke in on that. Before we do, just to update the other games, sheet 4, the contest has Team Grow with the Yellowstones up 3-1 over Team Murray with the Red Rocks. And on sheet 5, the contest between LeClaire with the Yellowstones and Team Alt with the Redstones. Altus was able to get 2, but then Maxey responded with a deuce of his own to take an 8-3 lead. Maxey over Altus. So let's peek in on sheet 3. So sheet 3 here. I'm sorry, that's the cameras don't match. There we go, sheet 3. So, ooh, looks like Maxey's able to get rid of one of the Norris shot stones and pushes the second one to the back 12, where it is being outcounted by, I think, 4 Maxey Blues. So it looks like we are down to the last rocks here in the end. This is the 6th end, so Maxey has the hammer. And Norris, I think, is just looking to get into a place where he can avoid giving up another crooked number. Yeah, the first end appeared to be rough for Team Norris, giving up 5. But since then, it's been a much more lower scoring affair. Looking to draw. I think they're looking. This looks to be a little upway. This could be dangerous. So now Team Maxey is going to escort it to the back of the 12-foot next to the other yellow. And so it's now Maxey facing. It looks like Norris has conceded the game just after that last stone, realizing that sitting 4, Maxey was going to take an 11-2 lead with 2 ends to go. So that game goes in the books. Make that final again. I do believe 11-2. So let's poke back into our Around the Rings coverage. We're definitely seeing these games as they wrap up on some level. So just to recap sheet D, actually, let's go to sheet D right now to see how that game is going. Have been giving updates when I can about sheet D and all the other sheets. So on sheet D, the contest between Team Murray and Team Grow. Again, it's been a lot of singles timeouts being called. No, sorry. Because the timers are looking at the overhead cameras, if you need to call a timeout, you kind of have to reach up to the heavens and say, hey, timeout. But they didn't call a timeout. The situation is Grow is up 3-1 in a very close game. Looks like Grow is sitting. Actually, it looks like Murray is sitting 2 right now. And it looks like Grow is trying to avoid giving up multiple points here in this end. Okay, I see the other yellow. So it looks like Murray's sitting just the 1, but there is a lot of rocks in this house. This is also the house, the sheet where the animals, or the owners of the animals sponsored the rock holders, or where the rocks rest. So you can see some animals. I see a panda or 2. I don't think people own pandas. I think this might be not quite the animal sponsored, but still a fun sheet to play on, I would imagine. So Grow's shot was a little bit wide, but they were able to roll it into the house for 4th shots. It is Murray sitting 1, 3, 6, and I believe it is Grow sitting 2, 4, 5, 6. Wait, there's 7 rocks. 1, 2, 3. There's 7 rocks in the house, and they're looking to line up. I think they want to hit and roll in to the house towards the center. And we have Sean Murray make his way to the hatch. Sean Murray skipped he's been skipping. He's curled for 22 years. And looking for a hit and roll with his first here. It's going to hit. I think it's going to roll wide. Ooh. Excuse me. It jammed and also kind of opens the door for Grow, I think, to potentially. I don't know if the hit and roll is there on the top left on the shot stone. However, with the score being as close as it is, if they just hit the shot stone and get rid of it, and then like Murray has a chance to score multiple points, but just something to make it harder for Team Murray to score multiple points. Both teams seem to be. Oh, the rock's underway. I think they are just going to hit. Ooh. Okay, not a bad outcome. Murray is sitting 1. He has a chance for 2, the first 2 of this game, which also speaks to how competitive this contest has been. Don't really see an easy shot for 2 or more. And again, they have a shot for 2. If they really wanted to score more than 2, they could try to maybe double those yellows out in the back right, but I don't think it's there necessarily. So this is Sean Murray's last here in the 6th. looking to draw, looking for the full 8 foot for that second point. Looks really close. Sweepers are going to make sure it's there, and it is. And then it's going to be a score of 2 for Murray to tie things up after 6. So, you know what, folks? I think we're going to stick with this game and see it through to its conclusion when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Welcome back to the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. I said we're going to stick with sheet 5, but let's look at, stick with sheet 4, but let's take a look at sheet 5. This is the last rock for sheet 5, I believe, or skip stones for sheet 5. This is the last rock facing one blue stone. This is the last rock coming from Team Leclerc. No, this is Altus. Oh my goodness. They were trying to promote their yellow closer to the button than the Leclerc stone, and just missed. So Leclerc steals that point to take a 9-3 lead over Team Altus. Altus hailing from Silicon Valley Curling. Team Leclerc is a Coyotes joint. So we'll keep an eye on that game. But we'll shift our focus back to our bonus coverage on sheet 4, where it's a contest between Team Murray from Coyotes Curling taking on Team Grow from Wine Country and Coyotes. So this is the first stone coming from Team Grow's lead. That's Jared Kiesling. He's curled for 2 years, almost. I apologize. That was the lead for Murray. That would have been Kimber Maroney. And this is the first stone, or sorry, this is the next stone coming from Jared Kiesling from Coyotes. He's curled for 2 years almost. Was a 5-and-under champion at Kansas City. Also a 5-and-under runner-up at MoPac and a winner at the Desert Ice and Hollywood Bonspiels. So very close affair here. Both teams are pretty tight on their clock. These games are timed. You have 30 minutes to play 8 ends. You want to play your end in about 3.5 minutes. And so it looks like Team Murray is a little behind and Team Grow is pretty close to being on pace. But they definitely want to be mindful of the clock as we continue with this event. It looks like Murray's second, Brandon Ellison, put up a guard, a pretty cornery guard. So it looks like Groh is going to try and draw to the red in the house with the first route coming from Jennifer Collins of Coyotes. Been curling since 2022. Was a semifinalist at the 2023 MoPac Women's Playdowns. And it's going to actually wreck on the guard and kick it into the house. Or they could have meant to hit it out. And I think that was their goal. Opens things up. Net stone coming from Brandon. There's also a 5 and under champion for the Pacific Northwest Curling Association in 2022. I think looking to just put the guard back up. And that looks to be a pretty good guard. So now this is Collins's second stone here. I think looking to draw down to the Murray stone in the house. Looks to have hits the guard again and have the shooter roll through the house. As we see Steph Larson deliver her stone. Has she been curling for 25 or 30 years? The world may never know. She also was at the Mixed National Championship in 2015, took part in the Olympic team trials in 2010, and has multiple women's national championship appearances as well as multiple junior national championship appearances, including winning it all in 2005. I've never tried to combine the word championship and appearances before into one word, but here we go. So that's the tight guard to the house. Murray seems to be doing a pretty good job of controlling the center of the house, which is what you need to do if you don't have the hammer. Looks like Dan Stephanie is throwing some weight here. Hoping to get one, maybe two. He's got one, and that's it. So then I bet Murray's going to try to put the guard back up. What? He's going to put the guard back up. Who would have thought? Who could have foreseen such an eventuality? This is Steph's second here. Sean's not liking that for some reason. Looks like it might be going a little deep. The line's not quite there either. So it's about the same as before. The double possibility is still there. Excuse me. And so this is a chance to prove the adage that if you give a curler more than one chance to make the same shot, he or she is probably going to make it the second time. So looking for a double here. This is Dan Stephanie's last. Oh, it's a little wide this time. It was wide. So it does get the rock that was just put into place, but then the shooter rolls wide out of play. So sometimes not all adages hold up all the time. So now Murray is sitting one in the house, and I think looking to put that guard back into position. I think more of a guard. The last one was tied to the house, touching the rings. As Sean Murray gets sets. He's been curling for 22 years. He was a men's club national champion in 2022 and has 11 mixed national championship appearances, including winning bronze 4 times and silver twice. And he also was at the men's national championship in 2013. So that's a guard. That's a pretty high guard. So I think Team Bro could get to the shot stone with a heavy draw. Uh, Maybe hit it on the side to push it out and have the shooter roll to the wing. So this is Megan Bros first. She's skipping out of the Wine Country Curling Club. Was at the 2023 MoPac Women's Championship Playdowns. Uh, Finished in third as vice. Oh, this is just a little on the heavy side. So the opportunity was there. It just was a little heavy, and so now Murray has a chance to really ramp up the pressure on Team Grow. So I think Murray is just going to put up another. I don't think he's putting up a dart. I think he wants to draw around and sits in the top 8 foot. So then there's no hits, there's no blink opportunity for Grow. So this is Sean Murray's last here in the 7th without the hammer. I think looking to get around the Grow yellow. I don't think it's going to get there. I think it's going to actually rest up against it. So now Grow has a chance to take the same shot again and then not necessarily worry about sticking around, because if they blink the end, they would carry the hammer to the 8th and final ends of regulation. So I think they're going to try the same shot again, looking for a blank. If it ends up to be a single point, not the end of the world. Well, looks like we have a measure going on. We'll check out what that might be in just a moment as Megan Grow gets set. This looks to be lighter weight than her last. So this needs to curl over. It's going to get the red out to the back 12, but it's going to stick around. So Murray steals one, and we'll be back in just a moment. I hear there's a measure going on sheet 1, so let's check that out. Oh, it's already done. But a pretty exciting outcome. Palmer was able to take 2 in that last end, and so now he's within 1 of Team Endicott. Endicott is up 6-5 in the 7th end. So that's definitely going to be a game that we're going to keep an eye on. Let's go around the rings just one more time to see the games in progress. Also, a reminder that tonight our coverage of the first day of mixed playdowns concludes with MoPac After Dark with a nightcap featuring Team Norris of San Diego taking on Team Howells of Hollywood. Join us for the action at 8:30 tonight here at the MoPac YouTube channel. So looking around the rings, again, all these scores are posted on bondswheeler.com. Sheets 1, again, was shaped into a very tight battle between Team Endicott of Coyotes taking on Team Pomeroy of Oval Curling of Utah and Dallas Fort Worth. 6-5 in favor of Endicott. Sheets 2 and 3 wrapped up early with Team Siggins taking the win over Team Mewers on sheet B, and then Team Maxey over Morris on sheet 3. Sheet 4 is our bonus coverage game, where it is Team Murray, after trailing for most of the game, taking a 1-point lead into the last end. It is Team Grow with the yellow rocks and the hammer to make a last chance to make a difference in the game. On sheet 5, a very messy sheets, we have a Christmas tree. The holidays aren't over, as we have a Christmas tree in front of the house in the contest between Team LeClaire with the blue rocks taking on Team Altus with the yellows. Looks to be Altus sitting 1, but they definitely do need some help to get back in this game, as LeClaire is up 9-3 in the 7th here. So shifting back to our bonus coverage game, we are in the 8th end. And we do have Murray taking a 1-point lead over Team Bro. So rocks in play. We have guards. Looks like we have one center line guard, which cannot be moved off of the center line until after the 5th rock at the end by an opposing team. And that was a Murray Stone on the center line. It looks like Murray's going to try and draw around to take the high ground, as it were. So it did tick their own rock off the center line, but as I said, the rule applies to a center team, or sorry, the opposing team. So it's a 1-point game in favor of Team Murray of Coyotes, as we see Jared Kiesling throws last. Looks to be maybe a little light as Megan runs up to help sweep. I think they were looking to put up a corner guard, and it gets cornery. So we have a string of Christmas lights on this sheet developing right now. So as I mentioned before, we have 3 pools of pool play action. One pool has 4 teams, and that pool will play. Each team will play 3 games. In the other 2 5-team pools, each team will play 4 games. So this shot from Brandon Ellison looks like it tapped the red into the house. And this situation looks kind of similar to what Grow faced in the last end. So I think Grow is going to try and get rid of this stone early. Asking Jennifer to, at the very least, get rid of the red. I think a little roll under the cover to the wings would be good. So it looks like looks like Grow drew around, and Brandon is going to put up a guard as Murray is sitting one right now with a lot of cover in the house. So this is Jennifer's last, I think, looking to open things up after Brandon did put up a successful guard. And does get two of the reds moving. Actually, that was a double takeout. uh, Looked to be a good shot by Megan as it does shift control of the front of the house towards Team Grow. So I think it looks like Murray is going to draw maybe to get through the port or to raise the red guard into the house. And that is from Steph Larson. Is it going to be through the port? It's going to be really close. It does wick off of the yellow and rolls into the house. 4-shot. That was a good. That was a good outcome. So both teams are tied on time, but it looks like they will finish without any difficulty. As Dan Stephanie looks for the shot. Dan's been curling for 11 years, most of his time with the Wine Country Curling Club just outside of Sacramento. He's participated in various recreational and competitive leagues over the years. He's also a member of the two-time winning team in the Gentlemen's Division at the Granite Curling Club of California's California State Curling Championship. So I think looking to maybe move one of these reds out of the way, trying the double. It's one, he gets two. That's a double takeout right there. And Stephanie delivers in a clutch shot here in the 8th end. So now I think Murray is going to draw around the guards and sit in the back 4-foot or on the edge of the 4-foot on the right side here with Larson's last. And again, the situation is kind of similar to what we saw in the first game where the shot's looking a little heavy. Where it's not bad to give up one shot necessarily. You don't want to give up two. And so at this point, the shot was a little heavy. It went deep, and so now Grow can make a play on it. I think also maybe tap it back a little bit to maybe make it second shot. That could be dangerous. I have to think about the possible variations. If Grow taps it back, if Stephanie taps it back, what does Murray do next? So this looks to be a little heavy. Needs to sit down. They're trying to coach it over. I think it's going to make contact. And it does. And it taps the red back to the back 12. So the question I just asked, how does Murray respond? We're going to see in real time how Team Murray reacts to that last shot. And I think for Murray, I think they want to do a gentle weight hit and roll, maybe, to kind of hit and roll under all that cover that's in front of the house. There's no way they can clear out all those guards, so you may as well use them. And they are definitely going to make a play on that shot rock in the back 8 foot. And I think again, I would think hit and roll. At the very least, hits. And the roll is the frosting on the custard, which is not a thing. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Even if it freezes on top, okay. I thought they were going to hit and roll, but a draw is just as good. It's around the cover. It's pretty well covered by the guards. Teams are still pretty good on time. They have Team Grow has a minute 30 to throw her last 2 stones, and Sean Murray has 95 seconds to throw his last stone. So this is Megan Grow, her first. She also won the MoPac Women's Championship as lead back in 2013. So I think definitely going to need some of those leads skills with this shot here to draw around and I think sit on top of the red. This is up a little heavy, so maybe looking to make contact. Does make contact, does push the yellow back to the 12 foot. So now Bro is sitting 3. However, Murray does have a shot. He's looking to just sit right on top. I think that would be a good call. Again, you have to kind of look at what the options are. So Team Murray did call their timeout. And we have a clock cam now. So thanks to Tony Del Porto of the San Francisco club. So they're taking their timeout. Let's see if we can listen in on the camera. Oh, okay.
So I think I'll say
I don't think we clear. Oh, that's a lot of hits. All right. Timeout is almost over. Decisions made. Let's see what they do here. I think just sitting on top. Looks like they're going to tap the yellow back. But they don't want to be in a position where Grow can chip the red out to score 2 points in the win. So I said the rock looked heavy. It doesn't look heavy, actually. Definitely scooping to hold the line. It's going to tap the Grow stone back, but Grow is sitting shot. And so now Grow has a chance for the win by drawing the side of the button. They have 56 seconds. They do call their timeout. So we're going to bring back in the timeout clock. because that's what we have technology for. So teams are normally afforded about a minute to 90 seconds for a timeout, but because we do have a coach in the event, we need to allow time for the coach to get onto the ice, even if the team doesn't have a coach. And as such, we have given every team 1 2 minute timeout during regulation, and then if they need an additional timeout during the extra end, they get one extra end timeout. So I think the situation is to just draw to the edge of the button and get the 2 points and end the game. I think they just really want to make sure the line is set. I don't see. I'm looking at maybe the possible negative implications for not trying to draw. I don't. I mean, the hit's not a great option. It could be a not a bad plan B if her stone over curls, and so hit the side of the red and then roll into toward the button to secure the win. Kind of using it as a guard, as a buffer, a bumper, I guess would be the best phrase. So Bro has her rocked down, and this is the last shot here in the eighth for the win. Team Bro, scooped by Maiden Bro. Sweepers are just escorting it down. Now they're jumping on it. I think trying to hold it straight. Needs to make sure it gets there. This is going to be pretty close. I think it's going to be the bumper. Oh, it's light. So sweepers are off, and we are going to an extra end. So for the second draw in a row, we're going to see some extra end coverage when we come back to our draw two from the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns live from San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. So looking around the rings, it looks like sheet one has finished the seventh end. Are they done? Let's peek in on 7 or 1. I think they're leaving the ice. Maybe. All right, we're gonna shift to 1 real quick just so I can see what's going on. They are pushing the Stones back, so that game ended. I can see now. Endicott scored 4 in the seventh end, and that was too much of a lead for Pomeroy to come back from. So that is at the end of the game on sheet 1. Team Endicott of Coyotes taking a 10-5 win over Team Pomeroy from the Olympic. We used to be the Olympic Oval Curling Club. We are now just the Oval Curling Club of Utah. Also with some teammates from the Dallas Fort Worth Curling Club. So interesting to see how that final line score. So we have, I think, 2 games remaining on the ice. Actually, no. Only sheet 4 remains, and they are going to the extra end. So with the score tied at 4, we're going to continue our coverage of the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. As you can see with the clocks, teams are given an extra 4 minutes 30 seconds to complete the extra end, as the first stone from Kimber Maroney settles into the top of the button. And so now we get to see the lead stone coming from Jared Kielsing. It's really awesome to see curlers with 5 years or less of experience. Curling is a younger sport in the U.S., and it's great to see these developing players really come and see how they compare against the more seasoned teams, as it were. Jared's shot goes a little deep to the back 12. It's definitely going to be something that can be used later. As we continue the bonus coverage, just a reminder that our late game will come to you at about 8:30. It's going to be a contest between Team Norris of San Diego facing Team Howells of Hollywood, which sounds kind of like Fredericks, but it's Howells of Hollywood. That coverage starts at 8:30 tonight at the MoPac YouTube channel. And then be sure to tune in Saturday for a day full of curling. We have a quadruple header on tap starting at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time and continuing at 1 Mountain, 1 Pacific, 5 Pacific, and then we have quarterfinal action starting at about 8:20. Again, all time Pacific, despite my trying to say Mountain, it's Pacific time. And then we also have 2 playoff games on Sunday morning starting at about 9, just before 9, with semifinal action. And then the championship game will be at noon, 12:30, 12:20. The times vary based on how quickly people can finish the practice. So it looks like Team Grow threw a takeout, got rid of one of the Murray Reds. Murray has the hammer in this extra end. And it looks like Murray's asking second Brandon Ellison to hit out the Grow yellow there. Looks like he just knows it out. Maybe roll a little towards the center. It's not going to curl back enough. This could, I was going to say it could jam. It does jam of sorts on the yellow in the back 12. And so now Murray's sitting 2, and I think there's a double there as Jennifer Collins said. Jennifer, looking for a double here. Let's I was gonna say it looked close, but it was more of a nose hit. So Grow got rid of one of the Reds, and it looks like Murray's going to return the favor with Brandon second. It's going to hit. Rolls just a couple inches. So the double is there. It's going to be a tough double of sorts. I think they want to hit the top red to the, kind of splash the top of the red shot stone. There's a chance that the red shot will jam on the back, but I think just keeping an open house is good. Although at some point, Grow is going to need to figure out how they're going to steal a single point. So it hits the top red on the nose. I think Grow goes in on her next shot. Although Stephanie has one more to go. I think the call is to. I'm curious if they're going to try and draw or hit. Looks like a draw. Murray is really yelling for sweeping. Needs to get around that guard. It's going to be really close. It just chips off of it and does roll into the house. Good for second shot, it looks like. So given that setup, it looks like Grove's going to ask Stephanie to again try the takeout. Looks close. It's going to get one. Gets them both moving, but it does jam on the yellow in the back. And the first red rolls to the right 12 foot. So now it is Gross sitting 1, but Murray has shots 2 and 3 plus the hammer. So Murray's going to hit out the Gross stone that was just delivered by Stephanie. And then there's not going to be a lot of great places for Gro to hide to try and steal a point. And as it is, it looks like Murray would probably have a draw for the win. So this is going to hit. It's going to roll through the house, out to the back, but it's still going to remain in play on the back line. Kind of funny. Sheet 5 is done, but it looks like their clock is still running. So now this is a matter of Megan looking for places to put a shot stone to count, and then hopefully make it harder for Sean Murray to hit that out. And again, like I said, unless they find like a really awesome place to hide their stone, I think Murray's going to have a draw for the win, regardless of what happens. But at the very least, Megan Grow needs to be sitting shot stone after her last rock, after this one. So looking for the draw. I think they need to come into the house maybe, but this is coming up a little light. Oh my goodness. So the ice conditions have slowed. Sean Murray's calling his team's timeout as they make their way down the ice. Timekeeper hasn't reacted yet. There we go. What? Apologies. All right, 1 second, folks. Just resetting the cameras. There we go. Sweet. So Murray is in kind of a similar situation to Team Grow, where they want to be able to put a rock where it's going to make it hard for Grow to get to the center of the house to be a sitting shot. So it looks like they decided to just clear the guards. Which again is, I think, a solid call because the best place for Team Grow to hide is behind their own guards. So by getting rid of the guards, um, it definitely makes it harder for Megan to find a place on her last shot to score. So this is Sean Murray with his first and the hammer here in the Estrand. Looking to peel the guards. He's going to get one, and then the other guard just rolls to the wings where it's not going to be as effective. So now for Team Grow, they're looking to maybe go around the guard that Murray's rock just left. They have a minute 20 remaining, so they still have plenty of time. And they need to be sitting shot at the end of this, or it's game over. Looking to draw around that red guard to be shot. This is Megan Grow's last. So it looks like it's a wide and it needs to be shot. So Dan's jumping up to help, but it's not enough. And it looks like that's going to be the game. Looks like Sean Murray scored two to take the extra end. So, my goodness. So that was a hard fought effort. It just comes up a little light as Murray wins by at least one, maybe two. I'm being generous. I'll say two. So that wraps things up for this draw. Before we go, just a reminder that you can check out scores at bondspieler.com. Bondspieler.com is our playlist, our live score host. And so again, you can see again the winner of sheet A was Team Endicott 10-5 over Pomeroy. Sheet B was Siggins of Coyotes, San Francisco and Denver 9-1 over Team Norris of Orange County. Team Matsey of Coyotes, Capital in San Francisco 7-2 over Team Norris, San Diego. Oh, sorry, Mewers was on sheet B. Sheet D, that was the game we just saw. And then sheet 5 or sheet E was Team Leclerc over Team Altus 9-4. And so that will do it for our second draw coverage from the 2024 MoPac Midst Playdowns. Again, just another hearty reminder that our coverage is brought to you by, and you guys know what's coming. It's brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is the host of the world's best curling rankings for the men's, women's, and I believe mixed doubles teams. Throughout the season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates the stats and crunches the numbers to come up with how teams compare against each other and against key factors like converting the hammer, giving up steals, and more. That's all at doubletakeout.com. So once again, we're going to be back on the air tonight at 8:30. That's just an hour from now. Hopefully, you guys will tune in. But for now, for all of us here at MoPac, San Francisco Bay Area Curling, and DoubleTakeout.com, this has been your host,